welcome to the Odd Hour, an odd hour where we share odd stories about our lives. I'm Evan.
And I'm Henry. Today, coming at you live from the camera we hid in your bathroom mirror, Judith G. Edersheim, an assistant clinical professor of psychiatry at Harvard Med, says that, quote, criminals come in all flavors. Some are motive-driven and know right from wrong. Others are impulsive and aggressive. So, different kinds of people commit different kinds of offenses.
As an example, consider the construction worker who cashes his paycheck, goes to the bar on Friday night, drinks 5 whiskeys, and gets into a fight. That sequence of actions and the impetus behind them is very different from someone who plans a bank robbery, wears a mask, and executes a well-orchestrated getaway.
So, the question then lies with us. What would need to happen for you to commit crimes of varying levels? That is what we will discover today.
We have a list of increasingly worsening crimes.
And today we discuss and find out exactly what it would take for us to turn over to the dark side.
I will tell you, Henry, going to the dark side, I have something to talk about.
Yeah,
right?
what's up?
So,
What's going on?
it's obviously winter, right?
Uh-huh.
Gets dark at 5 p.m.
Yes.
It's lovely. And now that
awesome.
we're in the new year, we've had our first snow of 2025.
The first snow, a round of applause for the first snow, everybody.
Now, snow is lovely. Snow is beautiful. I know it's a divisive topic. Not everybody likes it. Some people do. I like it.
Some people
Either
have
way.
never seen it.
That's
Can you believe
true.
that?
Some people have never seen snow.
That's
I can.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's called hemispheres.
No, but I mean, like, yeah, okay, well,
Or,
die,
biome
you know, no, but sometimes I can't believe that people haven't seen snow. My friend from Hawaii had never seen squirrels before, so
Okay.
shout out to Gabe for the first time that I truly understood how adorable of a little man he is when he looked at a
Mainlander.
squirrel and said, "What the hell is that thing?" And I said, "That's a squirrel." And he said, where did you get it?" And I said, "I don't own that." And he's like, "Is that common?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "What?" And then he asked a bunch of other people who was like, "Yeah, that's a squirrel, dude."
You don't even think twice of when you see it. Like, it's just there all the time.
Yeah, it's, and personally, I like winter weather more than summer weather sometimes, because I run hotter than anything. This room that I'm sitting in is about 50 degrees right now, which is why I have a sweatshirt on, but if it was 52 degrees, I wouldn't have a sweatshirt on.
Understood. So 50 is your ideal temperature.
Oh, yeah. I think 42 is like the perfect sleeping temperature because I like everything
What?
outside of the... I'm just kidding. It's not actually 42, but like 50 is the perfect sleeping temperature. If outside of the covers... No. If outside of the covers is bitter cold, that leaves you in the covers just right here, just right...
It doesn't have to be cold for you to do that. It doesn't
Yeah,
have
it
to be that
does. Yeah, it does.
I am not saying that I don't like it cold when I sleep, because I do. I prefer it cold when I sleep. However, I do
you're
not
one of
like
those,
it.
I think it's 70 degrees.
I do not like it absolutely freezing.
I
No,
love it freezing.
absolutely not. There's a perfect sweet spot, but it is not 50.
What's the
It's
sweet
way
spot
too
then?
low. I don't know, 62, 60, maybe.
62. You like a 62 degree room when you sleep.
Why not?
But then, I don't know, because then you fall under the thing of you're warm, but you're sweaty versus you're warm and you can like stick a foot out and you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know if I do, Henry. But that was my opinion, and you're gonna have to live with it.
All right,
honestly.
that's
and back
fair.
to my main topic.
Yeah,
okay?
sorry, yeah.
I wanted to talk about with the first snow. We've also had the first bad ice. Dude, I have almost slipped like 7 times, and it's only been like 2 days.
My truck went off the
Oh.
road.
Yeah, it did. I didn't know if you were gonna want to talk about that or not, but yeah,
Yeah, it was scary. It was not fun.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, I
Was there any like real damage, or is it just kind of like a dent?
it's an F-150. You can hit that thing with a crowbar and it's fine. But like, I I have this one corner as you go up to the. I mean,
Yeah.
you've been to my house before.
I have.
You know the big hill before you reach my driveway?
Yeah.
So down that hill, there's the corner, like the sharp corner, right? That you can't really, the blind corner.
Yeah.
That in the wintertime, you have to crawl past because, and I was going about 5 miles per hour, but my car weighs like 3,000 pounds. So
Isn't weight good on ice though? Don't you want to be heavier on ice?
not when you're going a little bit too fast for the corner, then you can't stop.
It's fair.
And I didn't have winter mode on, or I didn't have 4-wheel drive on. It was just dumb. And then I tried to slow down, and I just like careened off the side, and AAA had to come, and a guy was really nice about it, and he was like, oh, he had like a southern drawl too. He was from North Carolina, and I was like, oh, my friend's from North Carolina, and he's like, oh, what part? And I was like, Raleigh. I know you're not.
No, it's really actually.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually want you to say it online, but like,
No, it's not.
but
I don't want to anymore anyway.
but like, Raleigh, I realized that I only knew of one location in North Carolina because it was bad. But what are your slipping stories? What have you eaten your
I've
your
almost
teeth?
just busted ass. Like that's it. I've just almost fallen over. I haven't slid in my car or anything, but I have almost careened down some steps, fallen in a parking lot, fallen out of my front door.
Do you ever do the
Everywhere.
you ever do the like you're catching yourself as you slipping?
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that the most demoralizing thing? Like I feel this big when that happens. I feel like a little baby boy. And if you want
It is
it's
so
God.
embarrassing, especially if you're like maybe like if you go to the grocery store and you're in the parking lot. Like that happened to me when I was at
Oh my God.
I was picking up dinner at Four Brothers, and almost went ass over whatever, holding a pizza and wings and an orange soda, and almost died. And the whole front of the shop is just glass. So like there was like 6 families that would have just watched me like almost die and throw my food everywhere.
Do you ever are you ever standing on ice and then you just feel yourself kind of like like start to slowly
Yeah, I think that's just a common occurrence,
No, but,
especially
like-
when I go snowboarding.
but, like,
you'll
you
just stand
don't-
somewhere, like,
Well, yeah, but you're on a snowboard. That happens to everybody on a snowboard.
it's just icy there.
No. I'm
icy
I'm saying
and
like your feet are planted on the
No,
ground.
I understand what you're saying. Right. I'm talking about the same thing. Like when you go up to the lodges and stuff, and you got to go up all the steps. It's always icy because they're always making fake snow. So there's just always like raining and water, and everything turns to ice.
True. Okay. Yeah, but
Forgive me for
Still-
sharing my experience.
yeah. So unless you're on a ski mountain, it was your first snow of the year. I'm sure that there was other mountainous. It was our first snow. It was our first snow. I heard that from my cousin in New York that the storm that hit New York recently was so bad that my uncle slipped and fell and had to go to the ER because he bashed his like elbow open so bad. He's fine. He's okay.
Good.
But he did need one stitch. And he made the joke where he was like, I feel like a little bitch because all that they did was give me one stitch and was like, all right, now you're fine. He's like, but it really hurt, and I wanted to make sure my bone wasn't broken.
I mean, I get it. Like,
Yeah, no, it's better to be safe.
slipping can be bad, dude.
Slipping can be
People
really
bust
bad.
teeth, break bones.
Why do you think
Speaking of
old
breaking
people
bones,
fall down so often?
I'm not even gonna respond to that.
All right. It's just a
Continuing with
question.
breaking bones and crunching teeth, we need to talk about crimes, Henry.
Yes, but first, if you like what you hear and you want more, go to patreon.com/Pixel Perfect Patreon. PIXELPERFECTPATREON. Yeah.
Why did you take it from me?
Yeah, I know.
You took the joy from
And
me.
get another odd half hour for $1 a month. And after the first 100 patrons, that price will rise. So act now. I have a little comb for my beard that I keep here.
I can't believe you did that to me.
It's
I'm
okay.
so
Well,
mad.
it's my call to action because you opened the episode.
Well, it's my bit.
Sorry. NOERTAPTCEFREPLEXIP. I spelled it backwards.
Cool.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, Henry.
So Evan,
Let's do it.
let's start with you. I mean, we're both gonna be doing this, but would you like to read off the first one?
I would. Number one is aiming a laser pointer at an aircraft.
I never even thought that was a crime. Like, I never would have.
You've never heard of this?
No.
It's like a big problem.
Why?
Yeah, like,
What? How can you
Yeah,
even
people
see it from
are
the
like-
ground?
They get strong. No, it's a laser pointer. So if you get one that's strong enough, you can beam it right in somebody's eye in an airplane. If you shine it right at an airplane's cockpit, you can shine people in the eyeball with it.
I don't think I've ever seen a laser pointer that is strong enough to project that high up.
It's a thing.
How,
It's a thing. Especially if you're near an airport.
is it one of those like Timu tactical laser pointers?
I don't know the kind of laser pointer it is specifically, but it's a thing that happens. It's a problem. It really is.
So what would
I
you
think
have
it's-
to do in order to do this?
What would I have to do in order
Yeah.
to commit a crime?
No, that's what we're saying. We're saying what would we have to do? What would have to happen in order for us to do each one of these crimes? And they get worse and worse as we go on.
I think
I think just being curious. I think I'm stupid enough to just be like, and like just.
I think if some like old dude like came out of an alley like naked, only wearing a trench coat, and he opened it, and he was like, "Hey, you want to buy a laser pointer?" I'd be like, "Well, maybe. Like, why are you selling me laser pointers?" And then,
Is he naked?
yeah, he's naked under the trench coat, but that's just his thing, you know. And so, in order to buy one of the laser pointers, you have to shine it at an aircraft. So I'm like, hell yeah! So I do it, and I get a free laser pointer from the naked old guy in a trench coat.
Oh, it's
back
free if you shine it in an aircraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in on that. I'm definitely in on that. Is his weenie tattooed like a laser pointer?
No, he actually doesn't have a weenie anymore. It's just a laser pointer.
So it's a really good tattoo, is what you're saying. All right.
I don't think it's a tattoo.
Next. Next up is pirating. Pirating.
Is there a statute of limitations on committing piracy?
I think that everyone. I'm going to talk about a hypothetical friend I have named Bill.
Do
Bill Henry is his last name, funny enough. Bill Henry Evanson. That's his full name. Where he visits this website called 9anime, which is not a real site as far as I know, legally. And that's where he watched Jujutsu Kaisen before Evan, Bill's friend, gave him his Crunchyroll login. It's also where he saw Made in Abyss, which is one of the most beautiful looking anime.
Piracy if you download it to your computer, then it's piracy. Watching it is not a crime, but downloading it is.
Okay, so when Morbius came out, Bill said, "Have you heard of this site called
Morbius?
456 Cinema? Not 1, 2, 3 movie, but 456 Cinema, which is again not a site that legally exists. And my friend Bill and his friend Sarah, who not our CCO, a different,
Allegedly.
allegedly a different Sarah, watched Morbius on a patio when it first came out a while ago. So what would have to happen for me to do this? For me to do it, because I've never done it. Bill has. But for me to do it, it would have to be a really, really good movie, is what it would have to be. And I also wouldn't get caught. That's what it would be.
Yeah,
Legally.
so same. All right, moving on. Number 3, vandalism.
All right. Vandalism. You go first, because I just talked a lot.
I don't know. I guess you just have to, like, piss me off enough, I guess. Like, you'd have to do some real heinous shit.
What kind of vandalism are we talking about? Because some vandalism is beautiful.
I feel like there's different random thing, like, there's vandalism where, like, okay, you TP'd someone's house, but then there's vandalism like you threw a trash can through a jewelry store window and then threw a Molotov in there.
I think that's arson at that point.
I think we're just gonna call it both, right?
Okay.
Like, I feel like there's levels. Where are we sitting on the vandalism scale? Are we sitting on like
graffiti? Let's do graffiti. Yeah, graffiti's like the max.
What kind of graffiti? Like spray can graffiti, or like I have a Sharpie and I'm in a bathroom stall?
Whatever graffiti means to you. Picture graffiti in your head. That's it. Don't change your definition.
All right, so you would have to pay me as a Red Bull person, right? You ever go on like any Red Bull accounts and they're just doing the craziest shit, right?
Yeah.
I would train for the rest of my life to become the best freehand climber of urban structures in the world. And then Red Bull will pay me to scale from the base the highest altitude bridge ever built by man. And when I get to the support beams underneath the asphalt, I will graffiti the Red Bull logo, and then I will wingsuit back down to safety.
Okay.
And that's how I would commit vandalism.
Yeah. Mine would probably be when I was 4, I had a long lost brother, and I didn't know that. And I figured it out after I developed a love for spray cans. So,
Are you just making up lore at the moment?
This is what would have to happen for me to do this.
I understand. Okay. Please, don't let me take up much more of your time.
Okay. So I don't have a printer, and ink is expensive, but spray cans are not. And I'm 18 at this point, so I can buy spray cans. And
didn't you just say you were 4 years old?
No. When I was 4, my brother was taking
the spray cans.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But my brother was taken away from me at birth. That's not what I said, but that's what it is now. And
is that gonna be important later on?
No. And I have I don't have a printer, and ink is expensive. So what I did was I was like, I know that he lives somewhere around this area. So I spray the wanted poster on the sides of buildings to find my brother. Number 4 is forgery.
Oh.
I feel like I would just do this out of conveniency.
I
Like a
feel like I
signature,
just
I'm
wanted
just
to go
thinking
home
that
early
is-
from school, so I typed up a doctor's note.
Have you?
I don't know. I've never done that, but I really wanted to. I probably would have under different circumstances.
I kind of wanted to too, but you know what? That's my circumstance too. I'd say
That one's really not.
yeah, it's not terrible. All right, shoplifting. I've done this as a kid. Oh my god, dude!
I've only ever stolen one thing.
I
It was an
saw.
accident.
I was at a farmer's market. No, I was at a music festival, and I wanted a little crystal ball so bad.
Can we talk about how different those two things are?
A
I was at
farmer-
a farmer's market. No, I was at a music festival.
No,
I was
okay,
at a
so
rave.
hear me out. Like a folk festival, where there are like outdoor sellers
I see.
and stuff. Like a farmer's market. Like it was set up in
okay.
like a tent kind of thing. So in my mind, they were the same. It's like a bazaar, you know, like a
Yeah, come on.
like a shop. All right. And I wanted this crystal, and my mom was like, "Don't." So
Is that it?
yeah. So I put it in my pocket, and then I went home, and my mom found it one day. and was like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a crystal my friend gave me." And she goes, "Wow, it kind of looks like the like totally onto me." She's like, "Kind of looks like that crystal you wanted at the." And I was like, "Oh, does it? That's crazy.
Really?
What a good." And she's like, "Oh god."
I went on a field trip to an amusement park when I was in. I had to have been in like 3rd or 4th grade, and no, I was younger than that. It was 3rd grade. I was in 3rd grade, and we went to a big amusement park, and we're walking around for most of the day. We stopped to get lunch, and then we go to like some of the little stores they had, and I wanted to buy some candy. So me and like 2 of my friends went into the candy shop, and I wanted to buy a bag of sour gummy bears. So I'm standing there, and I find the sour gummy bears, and I get 2 bags. And while we're in there, like I'm walking around with my friends, we're like figuring out what they want and everything, right?
Yeah.
They decide they don't want anything, but we're just like standing in there talking for a while. So I'm standing there holding the things, and they're like, "All right, let's go." So I'm like, "Yeah, okay, let's go." And I just walk out in my hand. And I didn't even think, like, just didn't dawn on me. No one stopped me. I walked through the things, like no one
You were in 3rd grade, man.
said anything. And I
Who's gonna
remember-
literally take candy from a child? You know.
Yeah. And we went to go stand in line, and I was like, "Oh, I can't." Oh. I took off my backpack. I put it in my backpack, and I kept going.
Where were you? Were you at like a?
You want me to say the amusement park we went to?
No. I just was wondering if I missed that you were in an amusement park.
Oh.
Credit / debit card fraud. I would just need to buy something and then regret buying it, honestly, and then just call my bank and be like, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know what that charge was. And then that's my story. That's it.
Nah, I don't. I feel like it'd have to be worse than that to commit credit card fraud. I would have to be in deep. It would have to be like some bad stock was involved. I would have to go crazy.
Okay.
It's
Like,
gonna be like a Wall Street movie up in here.
okay, you're gonna like Big Short it. All right.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna catch me if you can, this bitch.
Well, what was his name? Waldorf or whatever.
Waldorf?
Yeah, he had the I
What?
can't remember if that was his name. He's a guy who helped crash the stock market. Anyway,
Okay.
medical and healthcare fraud.
Now we're getting kind of a little saucy. A little saucy. Medical and healthcare honestly, I would just need to like break my leg.
I was gonna say I would just need to have like a minor inconvenience where I'm gonna have to be out of work for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And
It's
that would do
It's
it.
America. Like it's not. It's I don't want it to be $40 million. It's just like, yeah, my pinky can't do this, and it's like, yeah, that's 10 grand. So every time that you do this, is another 10 grand. So just have fun. Tampering with consumer products. What is that? What does that mean?
Like, I would think it to mean you go to Walmart, you find a box of Cheez-Its, you open it, you eat a couple handfuls in the aisle, you roll it back up and put it back on the shelf.
Is that what that means?
I have no idea. You start off at the deli section, you get a whole rotisserie chicken, and you just eat it as you shop, and then when you're done, you just put the bag that it comes in back in the heater, and you just leave.
Oh my god. What is it, though? Tampering the product itself, its container, its label, altering the product's written information, conspiring with others to tamper with a product, making false claims about the product's safety, threatening to tamper with a product. You can get up to 20 years in prison for this.
I have the perfect one. You know what I would have to do to tamper with a consumer product?
What?
Rip the tag off my mattress.
What the what? What are you talking about? Rip the tag off your mattress?
Yeah, you like mattresses. I don't know if they still do, but they used to have these tags on them that said like "Do not remove." Like
under any circumstances.
Yeah. And it was just a thing. Like you don't remove like the tag on the mattresses that say "Do not remove."
You ever bring your mattress to a laundromat?
Why would I do that?
Apparently, that's a thing. Some places.
No, it's not.
Well, not here. I'm just saying, like, that is a thing that people do. They bring their mattress to a laundromat, and they're just like, yeah, clean it. And then they steam clean it, and then it's like $100 or something.
If you say so. I've never seen it. I've never even seen it advertised. But if you're telling me that that's what happens, then I'm inclined to believe you.
I don't think it's in our part of the world. I think it's a European thing.
Ew, fancy.
And if it's not, Europe, hit us up. We'll take a sponsorship from all of Europe.
EU, come on.
Tax evasion. All right. Just being stupid enough not to file my taxes, honestly. I feel like that's all that it would take.
Just trying to do my own taxes. I would just fuck up so bad that I would accidentally commit tax fraud.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Trespassing. Again, is there a statute of limitations on admitting to these? All right, so let's say I have a friend named Henley. And Henley and his mother used to live in a neighborhood where they were actively building homes. And oftentimes the builders would leave the windows unlocked. So in order to scout out the new homes, Henley and Henley's mother would open the windows and walk around the newly built, possibly already sold but not moved into homes.
Henley did some Arrested Development shit.
I mean, they were just curious about, how the style was changing, and there was nothing malicious going on. It was simply a walking tour of the home, maybe a quick piss and flush, but other than that, there was never anything diabolical.
Yeah, I think that mine would just need to be not seeing a no trespassing sign. I think that's. I just kind of walk places.
Wrong place.
I'll be real.
Right.
I just I walk places, and sometimes I get caught in those places, and they're just like, "Hey, there's no trespassing," and I'm like, "Oh, my bad," and then I'll just leave. Like, I have probably been ignorant to trespassing like 300 times in my life, but I'm just like, they're forgiving enough where they're like, this one guy literally, I was like walking in his field and he was like, yeah, there's no trespassing sign over there. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't see it at all. And he goes, no, it's fine. I should make it bigger. I'm like, this is not your fault. This exchange, not a place that you needed to take the blame. I appreciate it, but just not really a place that he needed to do that. DUI or DWI on federal property. Now we're getting real into it. Ooh.
Like federal property specifically?
Yes.
Because wouldn't that just be any road? Oh, no, I guess
Yes.
roads are owned by towns, though.
Yes.
So I would say, for me, just going to work after having a good time.
That's what would need to happen. I think that, like...
Yeah. I would just have to go to work.
I don't know. I feel like mine would have to be, like... Let's say that you were about to get into a bar fight, right?
Okay. Sure.
And the only way that I could ever help you is to drive from my bar through a courthouse to your bar. But I've been drinking at the bar. If you called me and you were like, I need, pull up, I would be like, okay, and then I would drive through a courthouse to give you a hand in the bar fight. I think that's it, though, because then I would just be fighting people.
Yeah, but are you drunk when you drive through the courthouse?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Were you, like, drinking alone at your own bar?
Yes. Yep.
See. Okay.
Yeah. And you were drinking alone at your bar, and then we meet up and fight people.
I like it. Very Roadhouse. All right. Money laundering.
So Roadhouse of you. Money laundering. I think I would just... What?
I would have to go on some crazy adventure, right? Like, I get transported into, like, the TV by accident. Like, this thing falls through my ceiling, and I pick it up and touch it, and it's, like, kind of hot, but it's also, like, nice and warm, kind of, right? But it's, like, kind of egg-shaped.
Like, hot as in, like, arousing, or just
No,
warm?
like, temperature. And like, I pick it up, but it teleports my consciousness into the TV.
Yes.
But at the time, I'm watching Ozark. So I just become really, really good at money laundering and could just do it all the time. But then at some point, I launder so much money that I get teleported back out of the TV, and I'm just me again, and no more laundering of money.
Cool. I was going to make another Ozark joke, too. Next one, conspiracy. Conspiracy to commit stuff? What does that mean? Do I just walk outside and say the moon landing was fake? Like, what do I do? I don't know.
I think it's you have to be caught actively, like, plotting something.
Plotting what? Okay, so I
like, say
think
you're planning a murder, right? And, like, you had it, like, written down in your journals, like, I'm gonna do it here, then, now, and whatever.
Okay, well, I don't want to go to murder, but,
fine.
like, if I was a conspiracy to, like, I think I would have to have all my other options be explored first, and then I'd be like, okay, look, this is what I got left. Robbing this bank, like, to get money to probably pay for the medical and healthcare fraud once they catch up to me and they're like, your name isn't Jason, and I'm like, what? And then they realize,
Jason?
yeah, they realize I don't have insurance, and they already charged Jason's insurance, whoever that may be. And allegedly Jason. Someone Jason adjacent.
Jason.
And in order to get the money that I need for my broken femur bone, it's a femur bone too now, right? I would need to plan out a robbery. I wouldn't carry out the robbery myself, though. This is just conspiring to do it.
True.
I would hire other people to do it. How about you?
Nah, I want to be real hands-on.
You're a real hands-on guy?
Yeah.
You like being really hands-on?
So hands-on.
You like being the guy that...
one hand on top of the other, just jorking it. just really working the dough out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like moving in a sort of Indian sunburn fashion.
Well, no, see, I know what I'm doing. That's why I want to be hands-on.
My bad, my bad, my bad.
Right.
Why do they
I
call
wouldn't hire
it?
you to do it.
What?
That's why I wouldn't tell you. That's why I wouldn't like tell you to do it. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Ah,
You're not
yes.
you're not gonna be hands-on with
Yeah.
it. You don't know. You don't know. You don't have the experience.
I'm hands off.
Mick,
I'm more hands off.
Right.
Yeah.
You're kind of like the weakest link in the group, right? Because the rest of us are here doing the work. And
Easily the weakest link. Easily the weakest link.
I had nothing to do with it, Your Honor. Maybe I heard them talk about it, but really I wasn't involved. You know what I mean?
They actually explicitly told me to get out every time that they were planning. Part of this because they knew that I would fuck it up.
The worst.
Easily the weakest
embezzlement.
link. Embezzlement. What is embezzlement?
I don't really know what that is.
Yeah. All right. Let's look it up. What is embezzlement? I should have had Sarah assemble like a type of financial fraud where someone steals money or assets that were entrusted to them. Oh, okay. So
so would that be like people using like politicians using like taxpayer money to
yeah,
like,
I think that I would just have to be in charge of like the Miss America pageant. And then have
that's the only thing I would have to do.
Yeah, and then just need to just be like, you know, who are the organizations that Miss America hurts?
Dude,
you know,
John Oliver last week tonight, he has an amazing thing about the Miss America pageant. It's crazy.
yeah. So like anything that he finds, I would embezzle it and donate it to John Oliver. I think to do more research on the Miss America pageant.
He doesn't want your blood money.
I don't think he cares.
I think he would just donate it.
Yeah.
The cycle would continue. He'll donate it to you, then you'll just embezzle it back to him, and he'll donate it to you.
Yeah, and then he'll donate. If I give him a check for like $1,000, right, and then he takes that from me and gives it back to me, is that still embezzled money? Because it's technically that $1,000 would be gone.
I think it's really only embezzlement if only the one person's in on it. You know what I mean? Because then there's no crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what about blackmail? What would you have to do?
I would just have to get really lucky. Walk in at the wrong time. Just happen to have my camera on. See something in the background I shouldn't have seen. Now you're mine. Now I own you.
I would have to do that thing that I think it was Hoover, the FBI guy, did when he did an investigation of this one woman back at the end of World War II, and he found a sex tape, the audio of a sex tape of JFK and her, and then when JFK was in office, he just played him the tape and was like, "Hey, do what I say." JFK was like, "Ah," and then he did it, and then he did whatever he said for like the rest of his presidency until his head was gone.
Well, it just did that.
Yeah, gone to. That's my favorite. That's my favorite conspiracy theory. Like, has anyone thought of the fact that maybe JFK's head just did that? That's so funny.
You know what else is funny, Henry? Tracking and counterfeit goods and or services.
Did you mean to say trafficking?
Trafficking,
Yeah.
I did.
Let's start with the goods, right? How about you? What would need to happen for you to traffic some goods? So like drugs, I think, is what this is.
I mean, rent would have to be really due, like real overdue.
I think I'd have to be dying of some sort of lung cancer or something and be a chemist. This is the plot of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just don't know what that has to do with trafficking. Because he cooks them. He doesn't traffic them, does he?
Well,
Yeah, I get maybe a little bit. It's been a minute since I've watched the show.
It was counterfeit goods.
Oh, that's fair.
What would that be?
What's that movie called? Catch Me If You Can. Something like that.
Yeah, that's more forgery and like.
Yeah, but it's
all
still
those
counterfeit.
lines. Yeah, it's counterfeited. Yeah, that's fair. And/or services. What would it take for you to be a pimp, Evan? Evan, answer the question. You have 3 seconds. 3.
I'd have to have an aneurysm and wake up another human being.
All right, illegal possession of firearms. Someone would have had to like punch my mom like real hard. You know what I mean? And I would be like, I need to kill this person, but I don't want to get caught. So, gonna scrape that little serial number off.
Oh, I see. Yeah. See, for me, it would just be after decades of living in a home coated in lead paint. I finally lose my mind and think I'm going on a fantasy adventure, and then the Glock is my magic wand, and the bullets are my spells. Fireball! I pull a bag of like lead paint chips and I just throw it at you.
Your Honor, you don't understand. The bullets were my spells. He's like, no, I get it. That's just not a defense. Stupefied. Like you just blow it in their face. Like a nice handful of sand. Stalking? I would just need to be friends with Evan Capron. What if you opened your window and I was right there? Like, what would you do? Like, if it was this window,
I would shit my pants.
I'm just licking the glass on the other side, like.
My face fades in the little like window in the background. How do you keep doing that?
I don't like this game.
Larceny.
What is that?
I gotta remember too.
Larceny.
Okay.
Sounds crazy.
What is an example of larceny? Examples are theft of bicycles, thefts of motor vehicle parts and accessories, shoplifting, pocket picking, or the stealing of any property or article that is not taken by force and violence or by fraud. Okay. I would have to be on a beautiful trip to Paris with my lovely daughter, who then gets kidnapped. And now, in my search to find her, I run through the alleys of Paris, but all I can find is a bike. So I steal it from the Frenchman smoking a cigarette and eating his baguette for breakfast.
I would just need a catalytic converter.
Rent would have to be really due.
Like every single one of these is just rent would have to be really due.
I think for a very boring episode.
Yeah, that was boring, guys. No, definitely I would. For larceny, I would have to like. I don't know. I would have to learn how to hotwire a car.
Oh, fair.
And someone would be after me, right? Because they think it's like a Big Lebowski situation where like I have the same name as another guy, and they're like, "Let's get Henry O'Brien," and I'm like, "Why are you after me? I didn't do anything." But then I'm on the run, so I gotta do all these crimes in order to get away. Yeah, that's what it would be. Perjury. I would just have to be a politician. Sorry.
I was gonna.
You were gonna.
I was gonna say someone was gonna have a video of me that's like really embarrassing, and they're playing it in court, and I'd have to be like, "Your Honor, not him."
It's just not me. I don't know.
I'm not him, Your Honor. Not him.
You're like in the video. You're like, I'm Evan. My name is Evan. You start saying your social security number.
She said I was him, but I'm not him. And then the bailiff would just pull his gun out and shoot me.
And cast his spell. into my
Fireball!
cranium. Into my cranium. God.
Oh
I hope
God,
if I
what is
ever get
wire?
I hope if I ever get gunned down that the guy shouts fireball and then shoots. I want to live because I want to be able to tell that story. So if anyone's wanting to kill me out there, just you can't.
I have too many paint chips to heal me.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
can't.
kill me.
Like you're just munching paint chips the second you get shot.
All right, Henry, wire fraud.
Wire fraud. Do we get an example of wire fraud?
Wire fraud is a criminal offense that involves the use of electronic communications, such as telecommunications or the internet, to intentionally deceive or defraud someone of money, property, or honest services. So this is easy. I'm surprised you don't have one off the bat.
I do. Robert E. Lee would have to be contacting the Confederate Army, and as it goes through the Morse code communication chains, I would cut that wire, put it with the Union Morse code chains, and then intercept all the messages and be like, "Don't worry, no one's there," and then I would send all my guys there.
I think I would have to be butt-ass naked and accidentally fall front first on my phone, and while I'm falling, my genitals would have to somehow purchase a crypto coin, and just being part of crypto is fucking fraud. I would have to do the old-fashioned rug pull. Buy cock and ball coin. It's $10 a coin, and we're going straight to your mom.
Now, when you said you should have one ready, this is easy. Well, what was that comment? 'Cause
so
you know, like what the fuck?
I'm talking with my therapist. We're working it out.
Do you have a therapist?
I'm healing, Henry. I'm healing. No.
Oh,
No, I don't.
well, you should get one.
I'll think about it.
Not because you're like messed up. I think that everyone should have one. I think therapy is very important. Aggravated identity theft. Aggravated identity theft. Damn. How is it aggravated? Aggravated by what? Like you have like really itchy skin and you're like, I'm Deborah now. Like, is that aggravated enough? Or are you just angry?
Such an absolute scumbag that I steal your identity, forge divorce papers, kidnap you, send them to your wife with an illegal ransom note, and then make your wife divorce you, and then when she does, I'll brainwash you and put you back into society, but you'll be like 3 states away. And I'm really mad the whole time.
I would have to need to like go to one of those websites where it's like only one deal per customer or something, maximum amount of 3 per customer, and then like I need a 4th, and I would just be like, and then I would steal someone's identity so that I would have the 4th. Nothing against that person. I would just also be really angry at the website and absolutely need to take matters into my own hands, and that's what that would be. Number 23, Grand Theft Auto.
Do you want to speed round the last 10?
No.
Okay.
Why not give them a longer episode? You know, why not give them more?
Okay. Why do you gotta be so snarky about it?
Why you gotta be so rude?
All right, well, Grand Theft Auto.
I'm human too.
I'd have to have a car fetish, and I just really like having sex with cars, so I steal them a lot because that's like foreplay for me.
You know, when you wake up in the morning, you never expect your day to go there. But I can see this is me being the judge of this case. I can see how you got there, you know?
God, never mind.
What? No. What?
I was gonna say the camera pans into me like going to town on some exhaust pipe, and it's just like, yeah, that's me.
You might be wondering how I got here.
Well, let me tell you.
Hold on, I'm almost done.
It all started when I was 9, and my uncle took me into the garage.
Oh my god. Grand
Sounds
Theft
way worse than I wanted it to.
I think I'd have to just like get into a taxi and be like, follow that car. And he's like, do you want to talk about politics? And then I'd just get out and rip him out of the car and then go.
Use of fire or explosives to destroy property.
That's an amazing thing to not answer. To destroy, use a fire or explode. So there would have to be a jewelry store, right? Where I would throw a trash can through it and then follow that with a Molotov cocktail.
That was seamless. That was perfect. That was lovely. I would have to just have something that explodes.
What, just in your possession? Like that's all it took?
That's all it's gonna take. Hand me a grenade. See what I do with it. You don't know.
Oh my god, dude! Have you ever held a
Where will I
grenade
throw it?
before?
Nobody knows. Yeah.
What? Wait.
Not a live one, but I've held one.
How big is it? Like, does it just fit in your? Is it like a baseball? What is it?
Yeah, kinda. It's like heavier than I thought it would be. It's a little heavier than I thought it would be.
That's fair, but also what?
Just kind of fits in your hand.
Let's see. Use of fire explosive. Assault with a deadly weapon. Okay. Now we're into actual crime like you gotta prove that you're not the bad guy type of territory. So in order to do that, I'm gonna take a family of 4. Stick with me.
Is the deadly weapon a vehicle?
What? I'm gonna take a family of 4 in a club, and then go to a club, right, and beat them to death.
Is that it? Is that all you had to say? What?
I had like a whole thing, and I just was like abort. Just kill them.
You know what?
No.
Let's move on to hostage taking.
No, you gotta answer the question. What would make you assault someone with a deadly weapon?
I couldn't think of anything, so let's just skip. All right. You'd have to beat me in an arm wrestling match, so I just get really I just have a lot of self-doubt, so I go to the gym and get absolutely yoked. And then, 2 years later, I come back and I kick your ass. But I'm so jacked that the court decides my fists are deadly weapons.
I think that you should just jack up like one arm, and then cut it off, jack up the other arm, use the arm you cut off to beat them to death.
Nah, that's too much harm to me.
You're a starfish.
I don't know what that means.
In this scenario, you're a starfish. Your limbs grow back.
How was I supposed to know that?
Don't you always picture yourself as a starfish?
Can we just do hostage taking?
Yeah, let's do hostage taking. I think I would have to be like, it would have to be if my daughter brought a guy home, you know?
Okay.
I would just take him.
So
I'd be like, you're not good enough for my little girl, and then I would just take him.
Well, why would you take him and not get rid of him?
Well, I'd take him and put him somewhere so that my daughter is like, oh, he left me. And I'm like, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Meanwhile, he's in Peru. And
I would have to finally catch the guy stalking me outside my window with my net trap, but I would have to torture him to answer my questions, so technically that would be a hostage situation.
Yeah. The guy in Peru, I would stage like a drug murder, like a gang fight murder that he
Yeah.
would witness, and then I would put him into witness protection in Peru.
You're really down for this Peru thing, huh?
Just seems like a good play. You know, I don't want him to have a bad life. I just want him to get away from me. You
Okay.
know?
Okay. You just never want him to see your daughter again.
Yeah. Like in Peru, you know? And then like 3 months from then, I would forget and
Peru
we'd go to
another
Peru.
name for your butthole?
Yeah, but not in this case. Arson. So, okay. So first I would have to take a trash can. Just the
And
same
then what,
thing.
Henry?
Then I would go to a jewelry store. No
What's the
one.
third step?
I would throw the trash can in there, and then follow it up with a Molotov cocktail to really set fire to the jewelry store. How about you? What would you?
I'd have to be like craving popcorn really bad. So like I go to the nearest like popcorn kernel factory where they like make them all, and I would just like burn the building down and lay in a pile of beautiful buttery popcorn.
That sounds like the stickiest afternoon. I love that. Can I do that? Can we do that?
Or I'm gonna take it back to one of our previous crimes.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna set fire to commit. Oh, actually, it's not on here. Insurance fraud.
Did you know that if you go to allegedly every outlet in a house, or 3 outlets at like different places in the house, and you light a fire, like you put a cloth in the outlet,
You sure? You sure you want to say all this, Henry?
and then allegedly, and then you light a match, like you have 3 people and they all light the match at the same time, and it goes into the electrical outlet, it'll make it seem like it's an electrical fire.
Interesting.
Yeah. I only know that because of an episode of Family Guy, and none of it is based on fact, and I hope that you do it because you'll be caught. You'll be caught virtually immediately. It will not be a good time. I don't think that actually works.
All right. Attempt to commit murder or manslaughter.
So-
Attempt.
Yeah, so the guy would have to come back from Peru. And I'd be like, I have no other option.
It's funny that you say that because my answer was gonna be the guy's wife who I married. You know, after I made them divorce.
Yeah.
He also coincidentally came back from Peru.
Cool.
Um,
Go.
I'm just gonna steal your bit.
And then I would have to be like, what are you doing here? And then try to kill him. But then my daughter would run out before I used my magic wand.
Wait a minute. Hold that thought. Actually committing manslaughter.
The next one. Yeah. Manslaughter, though.
Right.
So I have this app on my phone.
You're not gonna continue the whole point was that you were gonna continue the bit that your daughter wasn't gonna run out and then you were gonna use the magic wand. Why didn't you go there? Why did you do that?
Oh, yeah. So my daughter was going to run out, and then I would shoot the gun. I mean,
Whoa.
I would fire my magic wand, and she'd be like, no, I love him. And then I would kill her. And then that's when... Sorry, you continue. You go.
Okay. That's when you would continue to turn around and actually kill the guy from Peru. And
Yeah.
then kill your neighbors because they witnessed the whole thing, making you actively commit serial murder.
Which is our next one. Yeah. But we have to go back to attempt to commit murder and manslaughter for you, and then we got to work it down.
All right, fine. So you want me to attempt to kill somebody, right?
I unalive them, yes.
Okay. I black out. I wake up. I'm in the back alley buying laser pointers from the naked guy in a trench coat.
Okay.
But he pulls out a flip phone. He goes, hey, I'm part of this secret society of old naked guys who sell laser pointers. I'm like, all right.
It's a weirdly specific secret society.
And he's like, there's people out there trying to steal our secrets. I'm like, okay, who are they? And he says, it's all the people who work at like the loony bin who have been running around the city trying to catch him.
Ah,
But
yeah.
they can't catch him because he's covered in oil.
Mm-hmm.
So he asks me to infiltrate their facility and take them all out so that they can rule the world. So I
Okay.
do that, but I'm not good at it because I've never done it before.
Yeah.
So I fall out of the AC vents and land face first in front of like a room full of like nurses, and then they hog tie me.
Did you fall out of the vent onto one of the nurses and then commit manslaughter?
No, it was like I was like in the break room, but I fought real hard. Like I was grabbing syringes. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? And, like
yeah,
I was
yeah,
really
yeah.
swinging them around. I was
Been
fighting for
there.
my life. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Been
So
there, yeah.
they didn't get me on trespassing, but they did get me on attempt to commit murder.
Okay, so then how do you inevitably, accidentally get somebody?
Allegedly. Okay,
Allegedly get somebody, yeah.
allegedly, well, not me, the person in the story,
Yes.
allegedly, accidentally grabbed a full syringe
Yes.
and while they were flailing rapidly due to repeated muscle contractions,
Yeah, I've heard that's a problem.
they may have accidentally, allegedly, they may have allegedly stabbed the nurse in the temple with it and injected her with an alleged substance.
Yeah.
Um,
What is she all right? No.
no.
All right, and then the rest of the nurses saw that, so you got to take more of that unknown substance.
Well, no,
Turn
that
around.
wasn't the substance actually. That was
Okay. That was her.
the person I had taken out actually was a doctor, and after rummaging around their pockets, I found they allegedly found a scalpel.
Ah. Yes.
Yeah. Allegedly.
And then they allegedly did what with said scalpel? Got everyone.
Serial murder.
Yes. Yeah. Next one, international terrorism. Jesus, Sarah. Burying ourselves. Okay, so I go to Ireland and I say, where's the kilts? And they say, that's not here. That's Scotland. And then I say, no, you guys have them. And they're like, no, we don't. And so I say, if you don't show me at least 3 of your Irish kilts, I'm gonna blow up this entire town. And they say, don't do it. We'll get you some kilts. Just give us some time. And I say, you have an hour. And then they go to Scotland. They come back. But it's an hour and 1 minute. So I do end up blowing up everyone and everything in the town. Men, women, children, everything. No one evacuates. No one knows that's going on other than me and this other guy. Therefore, I am then marked as an international terrorist and put on the terrorist watch list. Something that you can also get put on if you live in the UAE. Because someone who I knew lived in the UAE came to America and was immediately put on the terrorist watch list. So we love that. We love America. That's a real story. That's a real thing.
I'll have to ask you about that later, but
Yep.
I think I would have to be taking your everyday normal typical plane flight. Just another September 1st morning,
Yeah.
I said September 1st.
Yeah.
Where'd your head go, Henry?
I don't know. Just I have this
Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, so
Pre-bias.
I'd be there, and then all of a sudden they're screaming and yelling, and this guy's got a gun, but like, but I'm the only one. I'm so big and jacked from going to the gym to commit my previous assault with a deadly weapon charge.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just so built that I take out everyone on the plane with my bare hands. And I attempt to fly the plane to safety, only I crash it. But I'm the only one who manages to live, so they think it was me.
Oh, so your international terrorism charge is not your fault. Whereas I went to the blow up a town route. And if that
Mm.
doesn't tell you what kind of person I am versus you are, I don't know what does. Number 32, second to last, willful wrecking of a train resulting in death.
Okay. There's a
Who?
train barreling down the tracks as fast as it possibly can go. It can't go any faster, but it's headed straight for a dead end. So
Yep.
someone has to switch the track manually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one they call. So it takes me forever to get out there. So by the time my hand is on the lever to pull it, it's so rusty it's jammed. There's nothing I can do. I pull harder and I snap the lever handle off. The train goes off a cliff. It's my fault.
But that's not willful wrecking of a. You're not doing it on purpose. You're
Oh,
like
it's willful?
Yeah, willful wrecking of a train resulting in death. So that was a good train story. But
I hijacked. I tampered with the train the previous evening, and then Torch
Yep.
cut off the lever, so there was nothing they could do because I wanted them all to suffer.
so I think like I'm in. So okay, I'm in someone's trolley problem, but it's trains. And you, Julie, and Alina are on one side of the track, and that's the side that they chose to go on. So I'm like, like Jurassic Park, and I say no,
Okay.
and so I just throw a single penny on the track because from what I learned in elementary school, that apparently is the worst thing you can ever do. And the train flips, and then the guy who chose to kill you guys, he's the only casualty. That's what happens.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like it, Henry. I like it.
Number 33, use of weapons of mass destruction.
destruction?
Sarah, it's like I gave you an assignment and you said, okay, let's bury you. And I appreciate it, but also, what? Use of weapons of mass destruction.
I would have to be the president of the United States, and Vladimir Putin would have to tweet directly at me and say I have a small penis, and that would be enough for me to get the football and do what had to be done.
Yeah, I think Russia just has to exist for another year, and then and then I could do it. How about you guys? Did you play along at home? Did you have fun? Did you have fun listening to this? This is a weird idea. If you want to see if you want to see what we thought of this episode for like our honest opinion of what we thought of this episode, go on Patreon. Patreon.com/pixelperfect. Patreon, in order to get for $1 another odd half hour. Once again, only the first 100 people are going to be paying that $1. Then it goes up to $3. So act well supplied last, babies. Evan.
Babies. Yes, sir.
Do you have any last words of inspiration?
They who go to bed with itchy bum wake up with stinky finger.
Thanks for. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.